Hi beautiful friends, Rosanna here with Nest of Petals for Floss Tube number 8. Hi guys, so welcome to FlossTube number 8 again. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoying this beautiful weather. Wanted to show you my chic witch's hat in early celebration for Halloween, which will be next Tuesday. If you follow me on Instagram at Nest of Petals, my husband, I'm doing a video for him. He got this pretty scary costume. I think it's scary. You'll have to come over, excuse me, because I'll be sharing it on actual like Halloween day. It's pretty funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I was laughing so hard that I started crying. I don't know if that happens to you, but he makes me laugh. So what's been going on lately? First, thank you to everyone that is joining me today. If you are new here, welcome. I share all things stitchy and knitting, quilting, embroidery, lots and lots of goodness. So if you like what you see, please click the subscription button. Give me a thumbs up. Love when you guys leave comments. Love being able to interact with you and build the relationships. Also, if you were new here, thank you so much for coming back, watching my video, and sharing all the love of crafting and cross-stitching. So another thing that we've been doing this past weekend, my husband turned the big 43 years old on Sunday. And we actually just had a really chill day. We had dinner, you know, we ordered it out because my daughter, she does, I know I've spoken about it before. That's Fresco scratching his claws, if you hear that in the background. She was roughing. She had 3 games on Saturday that she reffed. Well, it's AR, and she actually had a normal soccer game, and then she was AR on Sunday for 4 games. So she was out on the field from 12 to almost 7 o'clock at night. So it was a very long day for her, but they have one more weekend, which is this weekend coming up, and it's a makeup weekend, and then she'll be done, and then she'll be trying out for cheerleading. She's a junior, so she'll be trying out for varsity. The 2 years prior, she did JV cheerleading for basketball, so I'm sure she'll be doing the same thing this year. Love going out there and watching her do her cheers with her team and watching the games. It's really, really exciting. The school that she goes to, both the girls and the boys, they've both gone to like districts and regionals, so pretty exciting. So welcome again. It's been a really good last 2 weeks of stitching. I have tons to share with you. I have a new pattern that I will be sharing with you guys in a second, and I will talk about it, kind of what it's all about, how you can get it. And I have one finish, not fully finished yet, and I have several new starts And I have a good old stack of WIPS over here, and then I do have a small haul. So let's kick it off. The first thing I want to share with you is my new design that I'm really, really excited to share with you. So here she is, Scary Boo. And I do know Halloween is right around the corner, but I do hope you guys grab your needle and thread and your fabric and stitch on Stitchy Boo. So I did this on Weeks Dye Work Confederate Gray 40 count. And my mom actually gave me this idea. She said you should do a ghost and say Scary Boo. And I was like, that's super cute. She actually drew me the little ghost. And I put it into the computer and I added the spider with his little, web string. I think he's so adorable. My mom actually finished it off. She added the outside border, which is orange and green. And she added the rickrack. We went to, I think it was Joann's, and we got that from there. And then here's the backing. Perfect Halloween decor. And look at his little eyes. It's like a green, but it's pale, but it's like a spooky green, if that makes any sense. And she did those as French knots. So how do you get Scary Boo? I'm actually going to be doing this as a free pattern for you guys. And I will link down below the actual, like how you can get it. I'm going to give you my website. And I used to have Etsy. I'm going to just reestablish it and have it there. But in the description box, it will tell you specifically how you're able to get the Scary Boo pattern. And if you do stitch it, use the hashtag ScaryBoo and then please tag me. I would love to see you guys work on this beauty. So, Scary Boo. I hope you guys love it just as much as I do. So, that is that one. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to share starts with you guys. And this was a free pattern from JBW Designs. And I shared it with you guys 2 weeks ago, and I told you I'd probably have it all stitched up to share with you on my next video, which I do. So I know the fabric is Picture This Plus, and I know it's a 40 count. Unfortunately, I don't know the name. I want to say it's Mauve, M-A-U-V-E, but I'm not 100% sure. But she is fully finished. The thread I used was 817 for DMC floss, and I stitched it 1/2. And she was super easy to stitch up. When I first saw the pattern, I thought, ooh, this is probably going to take a little while because there's so much movement. But it was actually a really, really simple stitch. So if you haven't done this little mini stocking, I would highly recommend. And I'm actually thinking, and I don't know if I'll do it this year, but I was thinking of either redoing this like a couple of more times on the same fabric and maybe making like a little garland to hang by the mantle. Just a thought. I don't know if I'll do it, but again, mini stocking from JBW Designs. And again, it's a free pattern. And I'll also relink this in my description box below for you guys. All right. And the next one I'm going to share, this is actually a stitch along. And I want to say it's We Santa SAL, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. But Stitchy Friends, Sarah from Handmade by Sarah W. is doing this. A couple of other people are working on it. So I was able to start it. And it's from Heart and Hand. Excuse me, guys. And I'm using the called for DMC, and the fabric that I'm using is 28 count flax. And I am doing 1/1. And I do have trailing threads because I do not want to end and restart it. So I'm kind of going like this in a windmill motion to do this flower, which is this one right here. So I only worked on this maybe an hour. I didn't work on it very long, but that's what I was able to accomplish. And I want to make it into a little ornament. So, wee Santa. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Very, very excited. I'll have some more cross-stitch goodness on my tree this year. So 2 other starts that I started. The first one, I'm going to insert a photo. It's a Betty Glover. And if you guys remember last video, if you saw it, I spoke about having a wall of women. And this is one that will be on the wall. And I started it last week. And this is what, let me actually tell you the fabric first before I start. So I'm doing 40 count weeks dye work parchment. And I'm using the called for DMC. And this is where I've gotten so far. So my goal again is to have a wall full of women. And I'm really, really excited about this wall. So when I started Betty Glover a week ago, I had to make myself put it down because I just want to stitch. I want to get like one done. If I can get one done and then move, it's like that momentum. I love the colors and I love how close the buds are, the flower buds are. So I could actually, if I want to, start the border down here for the green grass, which I think I might, so I can kind of move in motion and not just do the border all at once. And I'm going to tell you why when I show you a WIP, why I'm not going to just do the border all at once. Typically when I work on stitching items, I will start the border and then I'll work like the different motifs or the alphabet. Like I'll work the things that are closest to it and then I'll do more of the border. So there's a method to my madness. Next start that I have is a $17.99 Mother Sampler, and this is from Needlework Press. And I bought this in a haul a couple of weeks ago, and I finally started on her. And I'm also doing 40 count weeks dye parchment. And I'm using the called for DMC. And I am stitching 1/2. And this is what I've gotten accomplished so far. And I love how muted these ones, the colors are on this. And I worked on this maybe, you know, a couple hours here, and then it was more like a nighttime stitch. And it's actually a pretty simple stitch. And I think this actually, if I wanted, I think I could actually finish this probably this year, because it's not really big. It's more of a skinny long, because I'm actually, where I'm at on the border, like I'm close to, where is it at? Being able to, like, even if I wanted to start this part, I could, but again, I'm going to work each section. But if you see, like I already did, I'm already on the middle section right here. And then the next part would be for me to add stitches below and then go into the next box. So another new start, and I love it. So again, it's a Mother Sampler from Needlework Press. And I got my sweet girl over here. Hi, babies. So my sweet girl is Lilu, and I took her a bath earlier today. So she smells like lavender. She smells delicious. All right, I'm gonna go into WIPS. So I have, again, I've been stitching like a mad woman. I do have a small haul today, but I ordered so many patterns, and I'm gonna tell you why. So if you guys know, if you've been following along on my FlossTube journey, you've seen me share GGR patterns, designs. I love her creations. I love how unique and fun and spunky, like each design that she has from her reproductions, it's like no other. When I see them, they make me happy, and I really enjoy stitching them. So I recently saw Miss Flossy, Kim the Contended Stitcher, and Brenda, I believe, and they did, excuse me. So I recently watched these three beautiful ladies. They did a floss tube together, and they had such a good time. They were laughing, and they were talking about their trip to the attic. And while they were at the attic, they bought different patterns and designs, and the attic is actually having a hashtag for November. I don't remember the name, but I'll put it across, and I'll also put it in the description box below. But they will be focusing on GGR samplers for the month of November. So when I heard them speak of this, I got all giddy and butterflied in my stomach, and I just was like, oh my goodness, I cannot wait. This is so much fun. So I have some GGR now, but again, I did order some more, and one that I was, I guess you could say pressured, but not really pressured, because I was like, ooh, I love that one. Kim and Miss Flossy, they got this GGR pattern that has another donkey, and it's a blue donkey. Hold on one second, because Lilu is chewing on something she's not supposed to chew on. All right, I'm back. Sorry. She had a hair tie that she grabbed off of my daughter's floor. She doesn't need to be chewing on that. So back to GGR. So Kim and Miss Flossy bought a donkey pattern. It's a blue donkey. If you guys know, I love me some donkeys. I share it in my stories on Instagram pretty often, and they're just so fun. I want to own a donkey one day, and I know I will. But anywho, so I ordered that, and I ordered a couple of other GGRs. So the month of November, I'm sure I will be stitching GGR galore. So hold your horses and be on the lookout for that one on my next floss tube. But anywho, let me share my first WIP of the day, GGR. And it's called the Color Red. I like to call it my donkey sampler because of the donkey. Where is he at? Right there. He's so cute. So this is one of my red samplers. I stitched this on Thursdays, and I've made some progress since the last time we met. And I am stitching this on 40 count Newcastle linen, and it's just a basic white. And here we are. So what I've done since the last time I met with you guys is I've done the house. And the house has actually been very time consuming. It's a big house. And let me see. I'll fold it real quick, make it a little easier on me. But like all of this, I need to fill in. I need to fill in here and here. But like over here, a lot of this is like these right here, those will stay white. This right here, this part right here will stay white, which I'm fine with that. But it was, again, a lot of movement. You really have to pay attention to the house when you're stitching it to not make a mistake. Actually, when I first started it, I made a little boo-boo here because I missed a stitch, so I was glad I caught it very early and was able to undo it and then fix it. Yeah. And then if you guys remember, I'm making it two-tone, so you'll see this one is a little darker and this one's a lighter color. So I'm doing 498 and 817. And the reason why I am doing that, and I'm doing DMC 1/2, if you look at the pattern, you will notice 817 I'm using is the lighter red, and then 498 is the darker pieces. So throughout the entire design, when I'm stitching anything that's lighter, I will make it 817, and anything darker, again, will be 498. So my goal for the next 2 weeks is to fill in the entire spots that I'm missing within the house. And I want to start the donkey, but I'm going to save him. So I'm actually going to move over this way to the alphabet. I feel like the alphabets, they go pretty quickly, in my opinion. So that's what I will be stitching on. That will be my focus for the color red, which is, again, my donkey sampler. I love this one. If you guys haven't, or if you don't have this in your stash, I would recommend it. It's a really fun stitch. I'm really, really loving it. And my goal to have a red wall downstairs. So right when you walk downstairs, there's a wall right by like our front door. I'll share it with you one day once I finish an actual red sampler. But that will be like my focal wall for red samplers. And my goal is to use the same fabric for each sampler that's red that I stitch. So it's all cohesive and it meshes well. So after I finished my video 2 weeks ago, I realized I didn't share one of my WIPs with you guys, which was Mary Bars by Stacy Nash. And I am using DMC, and I am doing it variegated. So if you missed my video on how to make your stitching look variegated with DMC, I do have a tutorial. I'll link that below if you missed it. And I'm doing this on 36 count espresso. And what I did last time is I finished this flower motif, and I started and finished this one, and I started a new one down there. So if you look at the florals, you will see, and even the alphabet, and tell which parts are different variegations of the DMC. And even the border, like I have a lighter green, darker. So typically I will try and use one of the floss strands and then convert it over to another. But if it's a smaller, like a smaller piece, so a good example is like this flower, like it's a smaller, so you can see like these are two different colors, which I wouldn't be using the entire strand that I have. So this one's a massive one. I don't see me finishing this one this year, but I do enjoy it, and that's my Mary Bars. All right. My next one, and I won this through my Facebook group that I'm in, which is Homespun. And I'll link if you guys want to join in. It's so much fun. I love how everyone shares what they're stitching. You know, we can ask questions. There's different giveaways. And again, this was one of the giveaways. And I won it, which is Jane Bowen. And it's from Needlework Press. It is under DMC. So I'm using the Call for Colors. And I am doing it on Country Mocha 36. And I am doing it on the non-model side. And they used 36 count hog bristle from Frocks and Rabbit. So I'm not using the called for linen, but I am using the called for DMC. And I've made a lot of progress on this one. This one is such a fun stitch. So what I've done since the last time is I did this, the flower, I started the bird, the butterfly, I think it's a puma. I finished the age. So I feel really good about this one. So I don't think I'm a one color girl. I do love colors, but I'm also loving the muted colors. So I think it's a good blend between everything. So that's Miss Jane Bowen, 1837. All right, guys, I'm gonna bring out a classic one. I haven't stitched this since my Floss Tube number 4 or 3, which when I pulled it out, I was like, I had to look to see when I actually worked on this. And I made a good amount of progress. I was like, yay, you know, I'm glad I pulled it out of my bin. So this I know from Plum Street Samplers. And I am using all DMC, and I'm stitching 1/2. And the fabric that I'm using is, bear with me one second, 40 count cream Zwagart, which is not the called for. The called for, if I'm reading this correctly, it looks like it's Broad Walk, but I don't know if I'm reading that properly. And they actually, on 2 of the DMCs, they actually coffee dye them to give it that coffee look, more brownish look because of the sheep at the bottom. I did not do that. I voided that out. But here is my progress. So since the last time I shared this with you guys, what I stitched was Jesus Loves Me. I finished the tree. I just need to add the bird and its nest. I added the roof, and I finished stitching this side of the house. So I feel really good about this progress. I'm really, really happy. And I didn't realize, besides the grass, like I don't have a lot more on this one. So this could actually be a possible finish. Like if I did 2 strands a day on this, I could possibly finish this by end of year. And I still love my little black sheep, my Baba black sheep. He's so cute. So Jesus Loves Me, this I know. One of my favorites. All right. So I was hoping, as I laugh, I was hoping to have Halloween at Hollyberry Farms done, but it's not done, one, and I didn't want to just stitch this one only and not pick up other stitchy items. So unfortunately, she's not finished. Will I have her completed by October 31st? I doubt it. But I am stitching her, and I have made progress. She's just not done. So here's the design, Stacy Nash, Halloween at Hollyberry. And I am stitching it on 40 count Weeks Dye Works, and the color is Confederate Gray. And again, I am stitching 1/2, and I'm doing, again, the variegated look. And here she is in her glory. So what I've done since last time is I finished the orange border, I finished the bottom house, and then I started stitching the top of the house. And if you look at the bottom of the house, you can see the variegation. I hope you can see that. I hope it's going through on the video. You can even tell, like again, anywhere I could variegate it, I variegated it. So I'm so close, but I will tell you the house, it's a lot of stitching. It's a lot. And I still need to, you know, fill in the flowers. And if you are stitching this one or thinking of stitching it, make sure when you are doing the border, you're paying attention, because it's a pretty, I want to say intricate border. And the leaves and the flowers, they're same, but it's every other, I believe. So you really need, and there are a couple of spots where they're not even the same, like number of stitches. So you really need to pay attention when you're working the flower border. So, to be continued, Stacy Nash, Halloween at Hollyberry. I will get her done. She will be done by end of year. It's just not by October, unfortunately. So another oldie that I pulled out, and it's Plum Street Samplers, Peace, Love, and Purpose. And I know we're not in this season, but I wanted to put some stitching in her because I have not worked on her, I believe, since FlossTube #1. And I'm using DMC. I did a conversion, and I'm stitching it on a 46 count. It's a mystery linen. I'm not sure the actual color. They stitched theirs on a 36 count. I wanted mine to be smaller. So what I did is I finished the flag. And here she is. So my next goal is to start the house, which is right here. So I will be, even if I can do just 2 strands or a couple of strands one day, that will be progress, which I would be happy with. So Peace, Love, and Purpose. I think she's a beauty. And I really love the 46 count. When I first started, I told you guys my story that I was having such a difficult time stitching on a 46, and I couldn't figure out why, and it was just my lighting was sucky that day that I tried it. Because that was the first time I ever had done a 46 count, which makes sense. All right, the next WIP that I have, I know I have like lots of WIPs. I'm telling you guys, I've been stitching like a crazy person. Not literally, but I've been stitching. Is Every Opening Flower by Brenda Gervais. And I am doing mine on 40 count Be Stitch Me and Not Another Sampler, which is not the called for. And I'm also doing DMC. And last time I saw you guys, I had finished just the green border. There was no flowers. So what I did recently is I finished all the flower buds in the green border, and then I started the door in the house. And I love this one. It's so beautiful. The colors are so dreamy. And for this one, there is a stitch along. I believe it's Every Opening Flower, Sal, Shiloh, and I can't remember the other name, but it's Cat's Fur Crossstitch maybe. They are doing a stitch along. So I joined them because I had been seeing this on Instagram and on FlossTube, and I just love how it looks. The colors are so beautiful. So I decided to stitch along. So Every Opening Flower. All right, my last WIP that I have, I was hoping to have a lot more done with this one. However, this kind of goes back to the very beginning when I was talking about how I stitch and why I stitch, not just the border. Like I will stitch the border and then I'll move in, and then if I can do more of the border, I'll do that, and then I'll move over. And I'll tell you why in a second, but My last WIP is GGR, and it's Mary Griffith. And I love this one. I'm having so much fun stitching her. And I love her colors. She's just amazing. So, so pretty. So last time I shared this with you guys, I had done this border all the way here to like maybe here. And I had did the flowers and everything. So I started on, excuse me, this flower urn. Well, I did the flower and then I started on like the pot. And it wasn't matching. So I was like, okay, I have a boo-boo somewhere. So then I, recounted everything. This was all correct. I looked at the border. I had one extra stitch. And where that extra, like it was where the page break was. You know how they'll gray it out sometimes. So I counted an extra stitch. So I had to take out from here all of this. And I actually had this flower motif done. So I had to take this out. That was my day yesterday. I was like, no, I have a boo-boo. I was so upset. I was mad. Yes, I think we all know the feeling of when you have a boo-boo. And me personally, could I have made it work? Yes, I could have. But that's just not me. Like, I have to fix it, even though I know it's time consuming, even though I had to take a lot of stitches out. So here you can see the ones that have no flowers on the border. That's everything that I had to take out. And I'll just add the flowers later. And everything does match up properly. I finished the pot down there, which I think is stunning. Really, really like it. And the other things that I did is I did more of this in border. And then I started on the words here. And I love it. And actually, I wish I would have, I'll have to do it my next video. But this is in, I believe it's Dutch. And it converts over, when you say it in English, it's a really, really beautiful saying. So I'll have to read that to you guys next time. I don't know if I said I'm using DMC. They have a conversion for DMC, so I'm doing the DMC. And again, I'm doing 36 count parchment, 1/2. In this one, I'm definitely going to be stitching her for the month of November. And I do believe, honestly, I could probably get this done by end of year. I was thinking of putting her in my rotation of maybe working her 5 days out of the month and getting her done. So, Mary Griffith by GGR. All right, so I did not work on this next GGR that I'm going to share with you, but I'm going to talk to you about a game plan. So my mom and we started this one last month. It's MJ1810 from GGR, which I'm just calling it the bird sampler. And we did this as the stitch along that Lauren at the New Hampshire Stitcher is doing, which is the back to school Sal. And I don't know why we did not do this, but I started bottom left. My mom started bottom top. She was like, I'm going to surprise you where I start. So we started it, but we really haven't been putting much stitching in it, but we started again together. So what we're going to do is my mom is going to work from her top left down, and I'm going to work from my bottom left up so we can meet. So we're going to do 1 page a month until we physically meet all of ours together. And then once we do that, we'll decide which page we want to go for moving to the middle section. So that's our game plan. 1 page a month. Hers will be from top to bottom, mine bottom to top. so we can get some movement on her. And I want to reshare where I am at so I can show you on my next video what progress I have. So I'm using straw 40 count. And this is where I left off last time. So I have, you know, a good amount of progress, but not a lot. My mom has more than me. She has more of her border done. So my next goal is to get more border done where I'm able to stitch I'm going to show you the butterfly next. So again, I'm trying to avoid any mistakes. So when I do a little bit of border, if there's a motif next to it, I will go to the motif. Same down here, like I'll go this way and then I can start portions of the bird. And that's typically how I stitch. When I worked on the Mary Griffith and I had to take that entire border part out, I was like, no, why didn't you do what you normally do? But hey, you live and you learn. Another thing, I did get some amazing, uneventful happy mail. I wasn't expecting it. And I'm actually going to be putting MJ 1810 inside. So let me share that with you. And I shared the story, my mom's, one of her best friends, Maria, and she's in Texas. And I've known her since I was a little girl. She actually made me a project bag, and I'm going to be putting MJ 1810 inside. And she did an amazing job. When I got it, she left me a beautiful note. I was like, oh, it's so nice to know that people are so kind and gifting and giving. So thank you so much, Maria. So this is the back and the front, which I love it. It is so beautiful. You guys can see, like, look at that beautiful bird. Isn't that GGR pattern is going to be perfect. Perfect inside. She has the handle, which I'm loving that. Typically you don't see these kinds. So I love how unique and different, and has the pull and that beautiful butterfly, just like MJ 1810 does. So thank you so much, Maria, for my beautiful gifts. I really, really, truly appreciate it. So thank you so much. All right, so let me show you, I do have a baby haul. And my mom gifted me one of them. So Plum Street samplers, and I don't know why I didn't take these out of the plastic. So hopefully you guys can see these in here. So they're little mini pillows for Dolbles. And I think they're super cute. I'm actually gonna start this one, I believe, either today or tomorrow. I just need to get the floss, and I'm gonna be using DMC. So there's that one. And then I also have the Prairie Schoolers, and it's all things fall. And I'm actually, like, they have these ones as individuals, but I'm going to do it as they have it here. I like it better all together. So there's this. It's just perfect for fall. Like, how beautiful is that? I love the colors. It's just so lovely. All right, and then the last one, again, this was gifted from my mom to me, and she knows I'm working on my girl wall. So this one is called The Four Little Girls, and it's Mill on the Floss Samplers. And you guys, how stinking cute. I'm like so obsessed. Like, look how darling these little women are. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna see if I can put a collage at the end of the video of all of the women that I have so far that will be on my wall. But can you just imagine, like, I can see the vision. Can you see the vision of my girls? So I will say, and let me know, guys, because I need more women. What other women patterns are out there that I haven't shared? Let me know in comments, because I'm searching, I'm looking, and I will say sometimes it's a little hard trying to find women. But if you have one or if you stitched one, please let me know so I can add it to my next haul purchase. So I think that's it. Let me bring out one more thing because I want to remind you guys. Scary Boo. Scary Boo is, again, a free pattern that I designed. It's fully finished. It is now available for you guys. Please check out the information in the description box below. If you are going to stitch it, please tag me on Instagram. Share your finish with me in my email. I'll be happy to share it, or I actually would love to share it on my next Floss Tube or Floss Tubes down the road. But I hope you love him and you enjoy stitching him as much as I did. So again, Scary Boo. I do want to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you loved my little chic witch's hat for my video today. And if you loved everything that you saw, please give me a thumbs up. If you are able to give me some feedback on what you're stitching, if you have any women that you've stitched on, please let me know in comments. I love interacting with you guys. It's so much fun. When you guys leave comments, it really warms my heart, and you guys are beautiful. This is such a beautiful community on FlossTube. I am so glad I took the leap and took my mom's advice and joined this beautiful community. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Happy Halloween and happy stitching. And I love you guys mucho. And until next time, see you soon. Bye.